Hello and welcome back to 27 Fox Place. I have a few random tasks around the house that I wanted to get done today. So after I finished my morning reset, I have a few things to take care of in the kitchen, and I also wanted to reorganize and rearrange a few things around the house. I'm not naming any names, but somebody left their muddy footprints on my duvet, so I had to wash it this morning. And the darker quilt is much better at hiding the dirt, so just to be on the safe side, I decided to wash the quilt as well. And while I was waiting, I went ahead and made up the rest of the bed. I found a tiny cricket on the pillow, and it's supposed to be good luck to have a cricket in the house, but I didn't want the little critter bouncing all over my bed, so I scooped him up and put him outside, and hopefully he'll still reward my good deed. There's a few things that I wanted to change in the living room today, but I wanted to finish up with the dailies before I got too sidetracked. And there's only one way to fold this blanket so that it fits in the basket, and I get it wrong just about every time.
You're gone now, will you call me back? Yeah, I know that, yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind, it's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces.
There's a few dishes that I washed by hand the night before, and I left them on the counter to dry overnight, so I just need to put them away, and then I need to unload the dishwasher.
Inside the noise, I can feel you. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart.
We get these black containers with takeout orders, and we save them and reuse them for the lunches. And that way, if one of them breaks or gets lost, it's not a big deal. But the only problem is every restaurant has a slightly different container. And I try to keep them matched up because it saves space, and I don't have to spend extra time searching for the lids later.
I know that. I hope I'll be your destination.
I washed the place settings yesterday and I let them hang dry, and I just need to put them back in place. And then I need to clean the track on the patio door, and I wanted to use the crevice tool to vacuum up the loose dirt, and since I had the vacuum in my hand, I decided to vacuum the rug first.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and
I try to clean this patio door once a week to keep it from getting too bad, but this is one of the spots that's just constantly dirty. So once I clean out the loose debris, I'll use a damp microfiber cloth to clean out the track.
if I will ever figure out
I'm using water and a window scrubber with a microfiber cover to loosen up the dirt on the glass. And I use the scrubber because it covers more surface area than a simple cloth, and it cuts down the time that I have to spend cleaning the glass. And then I'll wipe the frame with the damp microfiber cloth, and I use a squeegee to remove the excess water so that there's no water spots left behind.
falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs.
Some work done on the house, and there's a lot that needs to be cleaned up outside. There's construction dust everywhere, and the windows in the kitchen are so dusty that I can hardly see out of them. And it's not exactly the best time of year to wash the windows outside, so I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to get them perfect. I just want to be able to see out the windows for now.
Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. Do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Never ends. It's being more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight through the night.
Now that the outside of the glass is clean, I can see all the spots on the inside of the glass. And I'm just going to use a damp microfiber cloth to clean off the glass. And I'm not going to clean every section of the glass of this garden window. I just want to clean the larger section so that I can see out. It's likely to rain enough to leave spots all over the glass in the next few weeks, so I'll have another chance to get it right later. It's not perfect, but at least it's not an eyesore.
Still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Oh, where I'd rather be than with you. I can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me. I can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me.
I clean behind the fridge once a year, but I dropped a fork the other day, and I noticed that the front grill and the fridge needed some attention. So I pulled off the cover, and I found an even bigger mess. And I started to wonder if I even cleaned behind the fridge this year. But it's something I usually do in January, so I'm just going to vacuum this front section, and I'll take care of the rest in a few more months.
I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I
Cleaning underneath the sink has been on my to-do list for quite a while now, and I'm finally getting around to doing it today. We keep a trash can under the sink, so it's easy for bits and pieces to scatter around the inside of the cabinet, and I have a liner inside the cabinet to protect the bottom from spills that can cause damage. So I'm just going to remove the liner and I'll rinse it outside along with the trash cans.
show me what it's like from the other side. Would you stay another night? 'Cause I don't know you.
It's much easier to take the larger items outside to clean them, and I'm just going to use the hose to rinse everything off, and then I'll use a soap and vinegar solution to clean everything. I'll just spray it with the cleaner and wipe everything down with the microfiber cloth, and then I'll rinse everything down with the hose and let it dry in the sun.
Just wanna get to know you. I think I've waited all these years for you right here. But how will I ever know if you go? 'Cause I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you.
And before I put everything back, I'm just going to use a microfiber cloth and some warm water to wipe down the smaller items that I keep under the sink.
I can see it in your eyes, babe. You need to let your mind off things. Though it hurts, I can see it in your eyes, babe. But I know you have a lot to crashing in. When the streams are getting strong, just hold on to me, yeah. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I know you're strong, need to get yourself together. Things still get better if you just believe it. Yeah, it's getting
I pulled the duvet cover out of the dryer, but I still have to wait for the quilt to dry. And I really don't mind making the bed. It only takes a few minutes, but I really don't want to have to make the bed more than once a day. And I had to take a moment to decide whether or not I should wait for the quilt to dry or just go ahead and put the duvet cover back on the insert and call it a day. And in the end, I decided we could live without the quilt until the next time I made the bed.
against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. Oh, 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 I'll be your guiding light. Oh, 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 I'll be your guiding light. Oh, 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 I'll be your guiding light. Oh, 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 oh. I know that it's getting cold, the waves are crashing in. When the streams are getting strong, just hold on to me. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light.
I need to reorganize a few spaces in the living room to make room for the flower jars that I've been hiding upstairs behind the chair. And the bottom shelf would be the perfect size to fit all the jars, but it creates a bit of a chain reaction because I've been using the baskets to store blankets that we use in here, so clearing off this bottom shelf means I need to find another place for the blankets. And these jars contain flower petals from all the flowers that my husband has ever given me over the years. And when the flowers die, I remove them from the stem and then I let them dry out before I add them to the jars.
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that Marvin Gaye song. I'm stunning.
This cabinet is the perfect place to keep the blankets, but I have a bunch of old video games in this cabinet and I'm really not sure what to do with them. So for now, I'm just going to move them to a closet upstairs so that I can put this space to better use.
So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now, honey. Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. The sun sets on fire, tell me your desires. We're not getting tired, baby, take me higher. I'm Sunday, you love it, come on, give me something. I know that you want it, boy. The night is young and so
I didn't want to disturb Miss Callie, but I needed to vacuum behind the chair while I had it pulled away from the wall. And when she decided to find a quieter space to nap, I took advantage of the vacancy.
the night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now, honey. Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night.
Let's go.
The last thing I need to do is put everything back under the sink so that I can wash the floors, and the floors are in pretty good shape, but they need to be swept, so I'm just going to rinse them with some water before I call it a day.
Lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife, and I can feel the sun on my skin. This morning has a clearer light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a race. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day to
That's all for today, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure and hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications before you leave today. So goodbye for now, and I hope to see you next time.